Welcome back, McFly subscribers. Today we will be tying the GFA Hopper, a fly I believe to be the best dry fly pattern for a beginner to tie, after they have tried the foam beetle, of course. Now last month I did a series on all that the beginner tyer needs to know before they start tying. In that series I went over tools that are needed to purchase, some techniques like whip finishing, materials needed, and a handful of flies that I recommend for the beginner, one pattern in each category of fishing: nymphs, streamers, dry flies, and saltwater flies. I recommended the foam beetle for your very first dry fly pattern, and now I will be showing you the GFA Hopper, which will be a perfect pattern to advance your tying repertoire. Now we will get into the tutorial very shortly, but in case you haven't seen this channel before, this is McFly Angler.
And it starts now.
Okay, let's start tying. Place a hook securely in your vise. For a hook, you could use a dry fly hook like these dry fly 100s from Risen Fly, which is what we use for the foam beetle. However, I actually like to use a nymph hook for this pattern, and the one I recommend is the Nymph 9231. And that is because it is not only a longer shank, which gives us more body on this fly, but it also has an extra strong wire, which gives us more pulling power, unlike the dry fly hook, which is an extra fine wire. And the amount of foam and deer hair on this fly will keep it afloat even with a heavier hook. And today I'm going to tie a size 12. We also need some thread, and today I'm using Veevus 10-aught in yellow. This will be a yellow hopper, so I'm matching the thread to the body. However, you could use a contrasting color as well if you so choose. Veevus 10-aught is a fine and flat thread, and you do need a flat thread when working with foam because a round thread could cut your foam. Even though this is a fine thread, it is also very strong. By the way, I've been exclusively using Veevus thread for about 10 years now, because I feel it's the best tying thread on the planet, and I want you all to be able to experience using this thread. So I worked out a deal with Veevus for you all. There is a link in the description section of this video for a special that Veevus is offering you all. More about this later in the video. Okay, let's start our thread right behind the hook eye and snip or snap off the waist. Then let's bring our thread down to the start of the hook bend to form a thread base. Now we need some dubbing, and this UV2 Diamond Bright is a flashy dubbing that works great for this fly, but you can use other dubbings as well. And I'm going to use this light orange color. Pull a small pinch out, and we don't need much. Now we will form what is called a dubbing noodle. Give yourself a little room on your thread, and then separate the dubbing a bit and start twisting it onto your thread. If you continue to twist going the same direction, the noodle will compact tighter, making a thin, compact noodle about this long. Now we will start wrapping this up the hook shank, forming a flashy dubbing underbody. Wrap all the way up to the hook eye, and you can add more if you need. To do that, unwrap a couple wraps. Then add a very small amount and twist it onto the thread again, which should connect onto the previous noodle. Okay, once you reach the hook eye, then leave your thread there. Now we will need some foam. This is a 2mm EVA foam sheet, sometimes called fly foam, and I also have a foam cutter. This is made by River Road Creations, and they call this one the Chernobyl tapered end. This one is a small size, and you can see that it has a round end and an open end. By the way, I will show you how to cut your own later in this video if you don't want to buy one of these tools. They are nice, however, as they will give you a perfect uniform shape every time. Normally you would use these to cut the foam at the edge of the sheet like this. However, we need this to be a bit longer, so we will cut the foam a little further down. And you always want to cut on a cutting pad like this. When you push down and wiggle the cutter, it will cut out a perfect shape for you. However, we need to snip it off the sheet since we're making this longer. By the way, 2mm foam comes in many colors, much more than I have here. And you can also get it with some modeling on top, like these photo foam sheets. Okay, place this foam on top of the hook so the end is sticking off the back of the hook, about a hook gap width. Then wrap the foam around the top of the hook and tie it in with 2 loose wraps right behind the hook eye. Then tighten. Adjust if you need so it is straight, and then make 2 to 3 more tight wraps. Now we will span over the top of the foam diagonally like this, and make an even wrap underneath. Then make one more wrap over that, and then span over once again at the same angle, make 2 wraps, then span over a third time, and make 3 wraps. This will make segments into the foam, and do your best to get these segments to be equal size. Okay, now we want to span over going back up, forming an X on top of the foam like this. Make a wrap, and then span over once again to make the final wrap. Now we need some deer hair or elk hair. While there are some differences, they are basically interchangeable, especially for the beginner tyer. And we also need a stacker. I will be using this all-purpose deer hair swatch, so cut off a small amount from the swatch, about this much, and then we need to comb out the underfur and short fibers. So pinch the tips and use a comb. You can get one of these from a dollar store or Walmart. It doesn't have to be a good one. And you can see here that we got some of this fur out. Okay, so let's place these in the stacker with the tips down, and give the stacker a few firm taps on your tying desk. Now we want to pull the cap out, and it will keep those tips aligned. And we can now grasp the tips with our fingers and pull them out. Now sometimes you get broken tips. Luckily we did not get any in this stack, but I will show you what to do later in the video if that happens to you. Okay, let's measure this out to just shy of the back of the foam, and then transfer that measurement to your other hand, and cut off the butt ends flush. Now place this clump on top of the foam, and make 2 loose wraps over the tips, so that there is very little sticking out forward. Then bind down tight. You can make a few more wraps over the butt ends, but when you let go, however, the deer hair will flare like this. And that's okay, you can leave it like that. However, I prefer to have a less flared wing. Now we can fix this. Solarez makes a UV curing resin called Bone Dry. It comes with a handy paintbrush in the cap, so just pull back the wing so it's not flared, and paint a little of the resin over the tie-in spot. Then cure it with your UV light, which will harden it instantly. And when you let go, the wing will sit back more. Now push the forward-facing strip of foam up over the wing like this, and make 2 loose wraps over it. Then bind down tight while pinching the foam. Make a couple more tight wraps, and then cut the excess strip off, leaving a little ramp like this. Okay, that wasn't straight. Well, the fish don't care, I'm gonna fix this. Now we need to add some rubber legs like these. Or you could use the centipede legs, which are also round rubber legs. Whichever legs you use, pull or cut one off, then fold it in half, so the loop is shorter than the back ends. Place this on top of the fly so the loop is facing forward, and make 2 loose wraps. Cut the loop, which will give you 2 equal length pieces. Pull one piece on one side of the fly, like so, and the other piece on the other side, which will now give you 4 total legs, 2 sticking out the front and 2 out the back on either side of this fly. After adjusting the legs to your desired position, make a couple more tight wraps to hold them down firmly, and now we need another bit of foam to form a hot spot. Grab a bright color piece of 2mm foam and measure out about a hook gap width. You can do this with your hook, like so, by marking the foam in a couple spots. Then use some long scissors to cut out a strip that is slightly thinner than the marks we made. Place this on top of the fly, and make a loose wrap so just a little bit of the foam is sticking out forward. Then pinch and tighten. Make another wrap, and tighten again. Then cut the strip off so it's flush with the end of the body foam. Make one more wrap, pinch everything, and make a firm tug to tighten. Then we will bring our thread under and jump up right behind the hook eye. Make a few wraps up under that head, and then whip finish from back to front. Now one of the legs got caught in my whip finish. That's okay if this happens to you, it can be removed before tightening the knot. Trim off the thread, and then cut the legs to your desired length. I like the front legs to be shorter than the rear, so I cut the front off about here, and the back legs so they're just slightly past the back of the foam. And now we need to cement the fly. And I will use more of that Solarez Bone Dry stuff. Paint some underneath here, and then go up the side over where the legs are tied in on either side. Then add a dot to the whip finish. Now if your legs are sticking out quite a bit like this, you can push them together a little, then cure the resin, which will help hold them back slightly. This resin will harden up your thread and make this fly very durable. Okay, well there we have it, the finished GFA Hopper. Once you get the hang of tying these, they're very quick and easy to tie. And I feel that they're a perfect dry fly pattern for the beginner, after of course they start with the foam beetle. Now the foam beetle was a bit more simple, without having to add the deer hair wing or segments in the foam. But once you get the hang of tying that, it's really not too far of a jump to get into tying a fly like this. While the GFA Hopper isn't too complicated, it does add a few more steps that the foam beetle didn't have. And you will learn how to manage deer hair wings, and how to manipulate materials like legs and foam. Also, you will already have much of the materials needed when you started tying the foam beetle. All you will really need to buy for this pattern now is a deer hair swatch. That is, if you want to use the same dry fly hook. Okay, now there are variations of this pattern as well. And let me show you one more that uses a different body. I will also be using that dry fly hook for this one, and this will be a black version. So I switched my thread to a black thread, but I'm still using that Veevus 10-knot. Most of this will be the same, so I will be speeding through the majority of this fly. However, first I want to show you that you can use Peacock curl for the underbody. Pull out 3 strands, align the tips, then cut about a 1/2 inch off the fragile tips. Tie this in at the rear of the hook so that the tips are extended to just shy of the hook eye, and tie up to the hook eye. Then grab yourself some of these plunger style hackle pliers and grasp the ends. Now you can start twisting these hurls to form a braid. However, don't twist too much as you can break them off. Make a few twists, then wrap, then make a few more twists and wrap, and continue doing this until you cover the entire hook shank. Capture the hurl with a couple tight wraps and trim off the waist. Now here I will show you how to cut your own body without the River Road cutters. Measure out about a hook gap, and here I'm going to tie a black version to mimic a cricket. Okay, cut that strip to the same diameter as the hook gap, and then to round out the end, cut a taper in the back like so. Then I cut off the tip and make a few more trims around any sharp corners, round out the tip a bit, and there we go. While not perfectly round, it will serve the purpose. And to be honest, the fish really don't care. Okay, now pretty much everything is the same. We will lay the foam on top, tie it in at the front, then make the 3 segments, come back up to in between the first and second segment, cut some deer hair and stack it. However, here I'm actually using the elk, so you can see just how similar they are. Oh, and here you can see me removing the broken tip. Just flare out the tips, then you can usually just brush out that piece to the side before pulling it out, then restack if need be. And I'm going to use the resin to manage the flare. But again, like I said, you don't have to do this. Pull up the foam and tie down the head. Cut the wing shorter. Tie in the legs, and by the way, here I'm using the solid color legs, which are less expensive and you get much more in the pack. Once the legs are on either side and tied in tightly, then I'm going to add a pink hot spot. Again, use whatever color you want, but cut the hot spot to the same length as the black wing. Bring your thread to just behind the hook eye, whip finish. Cut the legs to length. Cement the fly all around to keep this durable. And there we have it, the finished cricket GFA hopper with a peacock underbody. So these hoppers work great for trout during the summer, when grasshoppers are jumping into the water. Trout sit waiting for these large meals to fall into the water, and some of the most dramatic topwater strikes I've ever had were on terrestrial patterns like these hoppers. They're such a blast to fish, and with all that foam and deer hair wing, you will have a hard time sinking these. And these can stay afloat really well, even without the use of floatant. However, adding a bit is not a bad idea. These not only work great for trout, but they're also one of my favorite warm water flies. I fish this fly a lot for bass and sunfish. So don't feel like these are only flies for the beginner to tie. They work amazingly, and I love tying these and fishing them as well. Just because I put this in a beginner fly category doesn't mean it's too easy for the advanced tyer to enjoy tying. So no matter your skill level, I recommend giving the GFA Hopper a try. Alright, well I'm 3 flies into this month's beginner fly series, with the dry fly I recommended for a beginner to tie. Like I said, last month I recommended your first dry fly to be a foam beetle, which is about as simple as it gets for a dry fly pattern. And after you get the hang of tying those, this GFA hopper is a great step to improve your tying skills. Last week I tied the recommendation for a beginner streamer, and that was the rabbit leech, so check that video out as well. And next week I will be tying the redfish crack, which is my recommendation for the saltwater fly to try after learning how to tie the clouser minnow. So make sure you're subscribed and click that bell notification so you don't miss any future videos like this redfish crack. By the way, I sell those fly boxes that you saw earlier, and these are double-sided with enough room to hold even large streamers. They have a strong magnetic clasp in them that closes almost every time you drop them. They're also made entirely of foam, so they float. And this means you will not lose your entire box when you accidentally drop them in the water. I also sell other awesome fly boxes and hats as well, and your purchase helps support this channel, helping me keep the lights on so I can continue making videos like this. I will put a link to my Amazon storefront in the description section of this video if you're interested in picking up some of my gear. Now, as promised, I want to share that deal with you that Veevus has offered. Veevus offered something called a VIP program. For $99, they will give you 10% off their entire store, and they sell more than just thread. A $120 gift card to use in their store, which is basically like getting a free $20, and a free shirt. However, if you click the link in the description section of this video, they will throw in an awesome bobbin holder as well. If you don't want to sign up for that VIP program, you can still get 10% off of any order just by clicking that link below. Also, check out my sponsor, Risen Fly. They made the hooks I use today, but they also make some awesome fly rods and other gear at amazing prices. They're offering you all 15% off your first order with them, so just type in McFly at checkout for that discount. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button. Doing so will help the YouTube algorithm suggest this video to more people. Also, please share my videos with all your fishing friends. I will see you on the next video. Now you go catch some fish.